And welcome back. I'm delighted to be joined by Dieter Weiss, who's just come in today, and he is going to give us a little bit of the European view of how the financial market is sitting. We've just had a nice overview from Sean on what's happening over here stateside. Things seem to be a little bit slower in Europe. What's happening over there?
Well, let me try to make the story short, because I could talk hours about the situation. Now, what we have seen is in Europe a 13.9% revenue growth of the EMS companies in Europe in 2022. Mm-hmm. Due to our half-year survey, which we do together with IPC, we were able to identify that 1/3 of this 13.9% was price increases, whereas the rest, 9.4%, was quantity increase.
Right.
Now remember 22, we were all talking about the chip crisis.
Yes.
Now tell me, where did all these chips come from if we have never had such a high increase in quantity in the last 10 years? 9.4% in quantity. That is unbelievable high. And in 2023, we again now, as we just finished the survey, in the survey we got results from 35% of EMS production value, and they had 12.4% revenue increase. Right. But we know that normally only those companies report their numbers who have good numbers.
Yes.
So what we do in the extrapolation of the full numbers, we get this number down to 10.9%. And again, 10.9% is a brilliant number.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
So I really have to ask myself, what chip crisis? Yeah. And what we saw in the middle of 23 was that a lot of OEMs realized that their stocks were filled up to the rim.
Absolutely.
And they started to pull the brakes.
Yep.
We have seen a couple of public companies who had to give revenue and profit warnings due to the fact that their customers were all of a sudden saying, well, we don't want it in 23 anymore, we want it in 24.
Right.
So, and we had as well a lot of smaller companies who in the second half of 23 said, well, where have all the orders gone? Mm-hmm. Yeah? We are getting nervous over here in Europe. And by the way, I just read last week the latest 10K of Jabil for the second quarter, their second quarter, which is not a calendar, second quarter, it is December to February. They had 16.8% minus in revenues.
Yes.
So it is not just a European phenomenon. Mm-hmm. It is a full phenomenon that due to this so-called chip crisis, all of a sudden the procurement managers of all the OEMs, they threw out a lot of hot air orders just to make sure that they had sufficient supply. Well, and now they realized that it was all up in the air, and then they pulled the brakes. Yeah. And now we see, what we are seeing at the moment is now that the bullwhip effect is now going down.
Yes.
And the demand is tanking.
Yes.
And when people ask me, where are the orders which we are normally supposed to manufacture in 24, my answer is, you manufactured them in 23 already.
Yes.
That is a problem.
Yes.
Yeah? And we have not seen the bottom of it. The bottom will come at the end of the second quarter this year.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things I mentioned to Sean in the last segment. He said that basically there's quite a few companies looking at Q3 and Q4 to start seeing things starting to uptick a bit. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, well, what we see is slowly the stocks are going down, and in the third and the first quarter, demand will pick up again, and hopefully, we will see a normal situation by the end of the year.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yes.
I have to say we have one problem over here. There is one smart company, one distributor, it's an American company, who all of a sudden runs around in Europe and spreads the rumor we will have a new chip crisis. end of the year, which will be even bigger than the one we had last time. And that in a situation where everybody still has everything up to the rim. Even the EMS companies, they still have much higher raw materials store than they normally have. So I don't want to step into this subject too much, but I can only ask the people, don't fall for those arguments, because there is other reasons why this distributor is spreading the rumor.
Right. Right. And I think one of the legacies of the last chips crisis was the fact that we all got a lot more intelligent about managing that inventory and tracing where the components are coming from and the availability of them, etc. So next time round we're going to be a little bit smarter, I would hope.
Yes, I hope so. See, we always have had semiconductors with delivery times of up to 80 weeks.
Right.
And we will continue to see that. But you cannot generalize this. Yeah? We will see some demand increasing in the mature semiconductors, which is 40 to 200 nanometers. That is picking up a little more. Yeah. But other than that, it's nothing unusual, and I can only recommend to everybody who's being told by their suppliers that the delivery dates are going to explode. Take 2 or 3 brokers, demand those part numbers which you badly need, demand them from the brokers and see what the outcome is. I did that during the last chip crisis, and there were several distributors who had delivery times of 40 weeks, and I got quantities of 5,000 from a broker within 3 working days. Yeah, I didn't take the offer because what should I do with the semiconductors? I'm a market researcher. Right. But anyhow, the message I bring, don't fall for these stupid arguments. We need to make sure that we have a more quiet and normal business.
Normal business instead of these peaks and troughs. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Everything else doesn't help the industry. Yeah. Neither the OEMs nor the EMS.
So Sean and you both do work for IPC in doing this type of research. So do you collaborate a lot, and do you agree with each other's view on it?
We do collaborate a lot, and I think we do agree. And I think it's also, to some of the things that Dieter said, we've moved into a different paradigm on how we think about some of these things. And so, we talk about higher inventory levels. I don't think we need to get back to the pre-pandemic levels that we saw. I mean, companies are showing a propensity and a willingness to carry slightly higher inventory levels than they might have. Yes. Now if things get direly worse, then maybe they'll be looking to shed some of that cost. But you're seeing across all industries really a desire to hold higher inventory levels, to have slower inventory turns, and so. Yes. We need to recognize that we're not just comparing today's metrics to 2019 metrics, but that we're in a different environment and companies are behaving a little bit differently than they might have in the past.
I think you're right. There's a much bigger, higher mix capacity out there at the moment. There's lots of new applications coming in. People don't know what they're going to be building in 6 months' time. So having that inventory on hand is probably makes some sense. Certainly with some devices that they'll be using on a regular basis. But anyway, gentlemen, it's always great to catch up with you. You've got a regular report that comes out every quarter, is it, Dieter, that people can sign up to from Informa?
We have the survey report, which has just come out, is available from Informa. By the way, we prefer not to sell the report. We prefer to give it away for free.
Okay.
Because every participant, all companies who participate in the survey, get it for free.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and that's the agreement we have with IPC. We want to help the industry to make better decisions by having qualified data.
Right.
That is the main objective. And I've just spoken yesterday with Sanjay Huprikar, who is my main contact at IPC, because he's the president of Europe and South Asia of IPC. and he's supporting our work very, very much. And the fact that we have such qualified data is definitely the work as well of Sanjay, who is helping us over here to do this. And we are in close communication with Sean and with Mark, because we are looking at the US as well. We are working on US data at the moment. We hope to have a list of all US EMS companies, including Mexico and Canada, by the end of September, and then we can take it from there and decide what can we do over here in the United States to develop a survey similar to what we do in Europe.
Yes, so you're getting the same
to
data,
help
you're getting...
the EMS industry in the United States better. So there is definitely a lot to look forward for.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think you both do a great job, and I want to thank you both for coming in today, for sure.